Have started the logging for this season. The machines, the harvester at least, is starting up quite well. The forwarder I had some issues with that will be covered in the next video. I had a few windfall and trees very close to where the machine was parked right now. It's up near the garage in the house. So while it was cold, oil was still cold, with low RPMs, I've moved over there and took care of the windfall and trees. It's 3-4 of them. I did quickly run into a little bit of an issue, minor one. Now, after overhauling the saw bar mount here, when the tree trunk got too narrow, it did not cut it very well. So I figured it was some calibration issues, but at first I wanted to get everything up to operating temperature at least. Did also remove a few trees close to some buildings. They're kind of growing over the building a little bit. Some of the birch here we will make firewood out of. We'll see if the big pieces might be sent off to the mill for pulp. They're just so annoying to work with making firewood. And the birch here and there are a little trick to get through the harvester head as usual. And when it gets small, it has trouble cutting. It does not cut far enough. I did extend the overcut for the top piece just quickly. Oh, so nice to replace the chain when it gets dull. It does not bind as it used to. It's by hand, you can just push it in, put a new chain on there. This repair was well needed. If you've seen my previous videos, no, it was expensive, but maybe it was worth it. So took down a few more birch trees. This is just south of the house. I can see this from my living room window, so I opened up a little bit more of the view. So it was very dark and foggy for a few days, so it was hard to see what has happened, but I like it. The view, I see more of the lake south of me now, and I have quite a bit of birch for firewood now. So, but since it's close to the house, I make piles of the branches. I will make a big burn pile, and this spring I'll see if my niece comes to visit. We'll have a big bonfire, because as I understand, still there is no value in it. I will have to pay to get rid of it, and then I'll just burn it. And as usual, I miss a little bit part of the video. I'll try to explain what I do here, because the sword calibration, where it measures how far it has put out the saw bar, I'm holding a piece in the harvester head here now that can't be seen, but when it's at its I should have it at minus value when it's all the way in, and then when it goes out, when it hits the tree I'm holding, that should be the point of 0. And I did mess up here a little and had stupid values, and it didn't work very well at all. So I looked around in here. I got help from a friend also with this a little bit, and I finally figured it out, and then I had to play around with a little bit the values on how much extra cutting it should do for both. Actually, the felling cut, that I didn't change much, but the cuts, when it processes the tree, I had to changed the values, both the normal one and the very top. It doesn't really say what kind of diameter it start acting on the different extra cutting lengths. But and here I'm removed all the sound because I had the radio going and don't want any copyright issues that YouTube quickly wants to add. First I took all the branches to the side. I put a few logs at the bottom to have kind of a base for the branches, and since it was very close I didn't do any stupid loads because it's so close from where I'm picking it up to the pile I'm doing. And I tried getting the forwarder stuck for the first time. Well, the first time I had any of the forest machines stuck. And I had been down here once before and I knew it was a soft spot here. And I didn't really feel any softness the first load, and I went there a second to get the last few pieces and it sank. I was actually on safe ground, but I wanted to save a little spruce tree I was on my way to drive over, so I actually had backed down an extra time to kind of change my direction, and then the ground gave way and it was just spinning. I hadn't put the tracks on, it wouldn't have happened. It was just stupidity. I didn't want to tear up the area around the house. I should have put the tracks on once we have had snow there. So yeah, and my dad is a bit low on hearing. Eventually I got through to him. Sometimes the headset I use doesn't work very well either, so he mainly hears static, it sounds like. But it wasn't stuck a whole lot, so a little bit of pulling with the small excavator and it came right out. But it did add a lot of extra work. Both getting the machines there and then cleaning it up before the mud in the rims got frozen in place. So if you have tracks, drive with tracks, tear up the ground, don't go without them. I think that's the lesson learned here. So the start has been a little slow, and as I said, I had a few issues that I will cover in the next video.